Hi, and welcome to the video for Financial Management BUS365. This video is the Getting Started video for this online course, and I'm going to help you to better understand how this online course will work and what your role as a student will be during this online course. The first thing you should do is go to announcements and follow my 7-step guide to getting started with financial management. The first step is watching this Getting Started video, which you're already watching, so congratulations, you're on the way to completing the first step. After you finish watching the video, then read over all of the announcements that have been posted. I'll go over some of them in this video. Then sign up for the Homework Manager, My Finance Lab, read the syllabus, review the Excel homework assignments under Blackboard menu assignments, and start your course by reviewing chapters 1 through 9 and watching my finance review lecture. And you should also, step 7, sign up to my YouTube playlist for this course. I'll be hosting all of the lecture videos for this course on YouTube. Okay, so let's just talk about step 2, the announcements. So the first announcement I placed is the textbook. So the textbook information is here, and you could buy a traditional hard copy textbook if you like. If you want to buy the textbook with the Homework Manager, there's a link here to buy both of them together as one package. If you prefer an online book and it comes with the Homework Manager, it'll be a lot less money than buying the physical textbook. I think it's $300 and something for the physical textbook with the My Finance Lab, but the textbook with the ebook with the Homework Manager is about $122. So that's my idea. And this course ID, I'll have the course ID filled in when you go to your actual Blackboard site. On Stony Brook's Blackboard site, I'll have this number filled in by the time you get here. So you're going to need this course ID to link your Homework Manager up and your textbook up to my course that I set up there. Now, speaking of the My Finance Lab, I have instructions on how to go to My Finance Lab, sign up for My Finance Lab. Here is the web address, and then you register as a student. You may already have an account, and then you have to enter in the instructor's course ID. And again, this course ID will be loaded on the Blackboard. You have to go to the Blackboard course to see it. It's not ready for this video yet. And then you just follow these instructions to prepare for this course. Okay, now let's go over to the next step, step 3, sign up for the Homework Manager. Once you sign up for the Homework Manager, which is a fairly easy process, you'll come to this section here where it says do homework, take a quiz or a test. Now, the test for the class will be the dates and times for the exams will be on Blackboard under announcements. I'll also email you a copy of this. And the tests will not appear until the day they become live. So you can only work on the test during a specific test period. Now the homeworks are all set up in advance, so you can work on all the homeworks on My Finance Lab when you feel it's appropriate. So for example, the first 2 homeworks are review based. So homeworks chapters 1 through 9 is a review basically of Finance 330. So this is a continuation course to Finance 330, and if you had Finance 330 with me, we covered these chapters 1 through 9, and this is going to be a quick review of that. And the homework questions will be a sampling of problems from chapters 1 through 9. Then we get into chapters 10 and 11. So chapter 10 is most likely a review, and chapter 11 is new, but I have a homework assignment for chapter 10 and 11, and then chapter 12. So if we go into any of these homework assignments, you'll notice that there's a number of questions to complete. There are 15 questions here to complete for the homework assignment. And what's great about the Homework Manager is when you click on a question, you know, a box will open up, and you'll have the question. So this question is about break-even cash inflows. So they give you a question, and they expect you to put an answer, calculate the question, and enter the answer in the box. And you can even check your answer. And you see that, oh, the answer is wrong, and they give you the proper formula to calculate the answer. Now, if that isn't helpful enough, you can go to the question help, and they have something called Help Me Solve This, which gives you a step-by-step example of solving it, and also view an example. So if you're someone who prefers to work with view an example, you can see a fully completed example, or e-text pages. And this is why it's good to have the e-text, because you click here, it goes right to the textbook where this problem is based on. Now, if I click on view an example, it's going to give the same problem, different numbers, show me the formulas, show me how to put the numbers in the formula, and how to calculate. And I can continue, and it'll do the next step and the solution. So it'll also show you, in this case, it'll show you how to use an Excel spreadsheet to calculate the results as well. So it's an excellent tool if you're not sure how to solve the problem, to get additional help of an actual example, and it also a help me solve it tool and where it's coming from the textbook. So multiple ways of helping you to complete the homework. Now, with the homework, I do allow additional attempts. So you saw that they have that check score feature, check answer feature. So when you are setting up the answer, you can check each step of the way. So if you get it wrong, you can't do something like this again, because it's only they don't want you to game the system and keep just checking, answering, checking. So I got both of those wrong, and if I continue, I got another one wrong. So here, oh, I got one right. Now the question is that question is done. So let me go back. I'm going to leave this. So you see that I have question 1. It's partly correct, partly wrong. So you do get partial credits if you get something right. Now, if I click into the question again, I have this here. You can't retry it, but you can click on similar question, and then you get a second chance. So this is way when you select similar question, now you get another chance to do the problem. And here I'm doing. And by the way, I am just guessing here. So, okay. Now I'm done, and it moves me on to question 2. So that's how you get multiple attempts to solve something, and now it's updated, and I got 3 out of the 4 parts right. So I do give you a lot of chances with the homework, and you get all the additional help with the question help. So this is what's good about the online assignments, because in the past I used to just give you one attempt, and if you got it wrong, you didn't really have the ability to try it again. So here you get to try it again, and you also get to have additional help, in specific help on how to solve each of the problems, and oftentimes in the formula based, and in some problems they'll go and give you a spreadsheet example as well on how to calculate. Okay. So let me leave this. So in the homework manager, you'll have do the homework, and you can go to the homework to see what the due dates are for all the assignments. These dates might not actually be your class's due dates, so don't go by what you're seeing here. Go to the homework manager, and all the due dates will be listed in chronological order, and every chapter we're going over will have a homework assignment attached to it. And again, when the quizzes, when the tests go live, there are 3 tests for the class. You will see, there's nothing here now, but you will see the test in here, and you will take the test online, which will work very similar to how a homework works. You just don't get multiple attempts, and you won't get any, show me the formula. It'll just be like a more traditional test, but you'll do it online. Okay, so that's the homework manager. Let's go to 4, read the syllabus. So here is the syllabus. So let's go to the syllabus. And here in the syllabus, you see that it has my email address, my office hours, my office, if you need to see me about anything. We will also have why this class is important. You should read this over. The course description, the required textbook, which is also on announcements. And this is just the plain textbook information. The student learning outcomes, what we're trying to learn in this class, so it'll be useful to read this over. Course methodology, how I'm going to work with this class, and the grading. So we have 3 tests, tests 1, 2, and 3. Each are 20% of the grade. The My Finance Lab homework is 20% of the grade, and spreadsheet case problems are 20% of the grade, which I'll go over how to do the spreadsheet case problems in a minute. And here's how your grade, you accumulate points, and how your grades or your weighted average grade will translate into a letter grade. I list the responsibilities that you'll have as a student in here. You should read this over. And then the course schedule. So the course schedule there are 15 weeks in the class, and out of the 15 weeks, 3 weeks will be exams, and the exams are a little lengthy. And the exams they're not cumulative, so they cover specific chapters. First exam is 10, 11, 12, and the second exam is 13, 14, 15, 16, and the last exam is chapter 17, 18, and 19. And then here are the chapters we'll be going over in a brief description of each of the chapters. Academic integrity, so please read this over, and disability information. So this is all basic standard boilerplate syllabus, but you should read it over and be familiar with what I'm expecting from you and how I'm going to be grading you in this course. Okay, so let's go back to announcements. And the next step is review Excel homework assignments under Blackboard assignments. So not only do you have homework in the homework manager, and these are just problems more directly related to what you see on the exam and what you'll see in the lectures, but we also have a more integrated case that, utilizing the information in the textbook, I put together a series of spreadsheet examples to further develop the homework. Now, it's important that you become more familiar with spreadsheets and use them more, because this is what you're going to be doing primarily when you start your job. So I want to include that element in the class and help you to be more prepared. So if you're going to say we're going to work on chapter 12 spreadsheet homework, the first thing you want to do is you want to download the spreadsheet file. So download the spreadsheet file, and then you're going to, once you download it, you're going to open it up in Excel. Now, if you don't, you must work in Excel, and if you don't have Excel, you get a free copy from the university, from your technical fees that you pay the university. You'll get a copy of Excel, so you could just go to the Stony Brook website and type in Microsoft Office, and it'll lead you somewhere where you could download Excel for free to work with. And of course, Excel is also available in all the Sync sites on campus. So there's no excuse not to be able to work in Excel. Don't try to work with Google spreadsheets. It does not work well with the formulas and different things I'm going to be working with. So make sure you use and you save your files as Excel files. Okay. All right. So let's look at this spreadsheet. This is taking a second here. Okay, so here's some simple facts about these spreadsheets. I'm taking them straight. The information from the spreadsheet and the variables I'm taking straight from the lectures that I'm talking about in the chapters we're working with. And oftentimes in the spreadsheets, I will have things broken out into multiple worksheets. So this is a workbook, and then we have worksheets within the workbook on these tabs down here. So make sure you click through these tabs to see the multiple different problems I've set up for you. So this problem is the break-even cash inflow, which also we saw as one of the homework problems. This is the formula for the that we're going to be working with. So here I have the variables that you see in the formula, and then I also oftentimes I'll have these little red corners, which is a little note, and I'm telling you a little information of the financial function you can use to solve this. So you don't necessarily have to calculate it through the formula. You could also work with the financial function to solve some of these problems as well. So the payment function would help solve the break-even cash flow, or you could interpret this formula and calculate that too in Excel. And the second sheet, now generally I have these yellow boxes as the boxes I want you to fill in for most of these spreadsheets, and you can see that I'll have a little hint about how to calculate, and so I usually try to leave you the formula, maybe a little description of what you're doing, and then a problem set very similar to what you'd see described or outlined in the textbook. So these spreadsheets are important to help you better understand and interpret the information in finance and apply it to a spreadsheet. And I leave you a lot of hints and clues and information like these text boxes to give you an idea of how to complete the spreadsheets. So, and just going through the chapter also have a lot of these spreadsheets are detailed in the chapter and how to solve them. So once you actually complete the spreadsheet and you want to save it, and once you save the spreadsheet, you just want to go to File, and then you want to save the spreadsheet. And then when you're fully done with the spreadsheet, you go back to the chapter here, and you can click on Chapter 12 Homework. And then they'll have the option for you to, and you'll see that the value is 10 points. the due date, and you will be able to go right here, attach files. You click on Browse My Computer, and you attach your Word document, and you click Submit. And then I will have your file, and I will grade it up from my side, and then the grades will wind up in the grade book, so the grade center for the course. And for each chapter, from chapter 11 down to chapter 19, we have a spreadsheet assignment, and all the due dates and all the spreadsheet assignments are set up right now for you to complete, so you can work ahead. But once the due date passes, you'll be able to go to Documents, and in Documents you could see the Excel spreadsheet keys. There's nothing in there now because I'm not going to open the key up before the assignment is due, but after the assignment is due, you can go in and you can kind of see for yourself how I solved it. So if you had any questions or something that wasn't quite right, you can kind of self-check your assignment. Also in Documents, I have the PowerPoints for the lectures that are on YouTube. Now with assignments, with the grading of these homework assignments here, I am very lenient with grading these homework assignments, so I just expect that you try. As long as you try to answer each question, I'm pretty generous with scoring. It's only when you leave things undone or blank that I will take points off. So try your best, complete it as best you can, and I'm usually pretty generous in grading these spreadsheet homeworks because I know some of them are the first time you're seeing them. Okay, so let's go back to announcements. Number 5, review. Okay, we just did that. Number 6, start your course by reviewing chapters 1 through 9. Okay, so this is a continuation course of BUS365 Finance, so you should be very familiar with chapters 1 through 9, so you just want to leaf through chapters 1 through 9, get a refresher course of what you did, just kind of remind yourself what you did in finance, and watch my review lecture where I kind of walk you through the overview of these 9 chapters, and then you'll see that in the homework there is the chapter review homework where I put together about 30 questions from the first 9 chapters just for you to get a quick review of what you should have remembered from finance, because we're building off the basis of that finance class, so I don't want you to lose any of that data or information. Don't worry, you're not going to be tested on chapters 1 through 9, but I just want you to have a good, firm reinforcement on those chapters. And then starting in chapter 11, if we look back, chapter 11 is when you first start getting tested, so if you look back on the syllabus, you'll see that the first test is going to be on actually chapters 10, 11, and 12. So you're going to be tested. You won't be tested on chapters 1 through 9, but the first exam will be 10, 11, and 12. So if you've taken 330 with me recently, I usually do go over chapter 10, so you sort of have a head start on this course on the chapter 10 and 11 homework, which is a 15-question homework from both those chapters. So you're going to have a little bit of a head start if you took me for 330, because I usually get to go over that chapter. But it doesn't hurt to refresh and do it again, and you will be tested again on chapter 10, which is an important chapter anyway. So you do want to go and watch my video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So here are links to get to my YouTube channel, and then you subscribe to it. You'll have the playlist for our course, and you'll be able to watch the videos at your leisure. And what's great about YouTube and why I picked YouTube is that you can watch them on your phone, your iPad, your Xbox, your Apple TV, your Fire Stick, your Chromecast, your computer, wherever is comfortable for you, you can be watching these lectures, which is a great benefit of this class. Okay. All right. So that is the basic overview for the class, and I hope that I made this as straightforward as possible. And as long as weekly you keep up with, just think usually every week you're going to have a homework assignment in My Finance Lab. Let's pull this down a bit. My Finance Lab, you'll have a homework assignment. This is the first one, and then let's move this back. And then you'll have also each week, for most weeks, you'll have a spreadsheet assignment to do for the first one is on chapter 11. And every so often there will be an exam, and if you look under announcements, I'll have I will post the announcements of the exam days, the days that the exam are on, the hours that you have to do the exam. And when you do an exam, you basically will have to pick a time during the day that works best for you, and you need to finish the exam in one sitting. So when you have a couple hours to yourself, 3 hours to do the exam, you'll sit down and complete the exam in that time frame. And all the details before the test or exam comes up, I will send an email out reviewing the exam, the topics on the exam, the number of questions on the exam, the type of questions on the exam, all the questions that you'll typically want to know about an exam before you start studying it. That will be all set up. Okay, so this is my 20-minute video for getting started with Financial Management 365. I hope you found it very useful. And if you have any questions about the course, you can email me directly, or if you have a question you think the entire class will benefit from, you can go to the discussion board and you can create a forum, or I'll create the forum now, and you could use this to ask questions about the course. And then you can, so I'm just going to create the forum, and then you can click in here, questions about the class. I'm going to subscribe to it so I'll see when you, and you just go create thread, and then the thread can be any question you want to ask about the class that you might feel the entire class will benefit from. So that's another way we can communicate with each other is through this discussion board, but certainly also through email or through office hours. Okay, it was nice talking to you, and I wish you the best for the course, and now is a great time to get started. Take care.